Welcome to Cyber Clean Systems Learning Lab in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Richard Ward, Chief Technology Officer. In today's video, you're going to learn 7 key elements for a successful deployment that we've used in over 1,800 deployments across the U.S. for major manufacturers. Stay tuned. So just north of Richmond, there's a town called Ashland, Virginia. It's a quaint little town with Victorian homes. It's got a railroad track running through the middle of town. So my wife and I were out eating dinner, and we left to go home. And lo and behold, guess what happened? A train came. So we couldn't go across the track. So the car in front of us took a right-hand turn and went down the road that was parallel to the track. So we decided they knew where they were going. So we followed the car. Kept following it and kept following it, kept following it, taking left-hand turns, right-hand turns, and we followed that car all the way to a dead end. So guess what? We didn't know where we were, and neither did they. So what does all that have to do with a robot? Well, there's teach and repeat technology, and what that means is the robot is going to repeat exactly what you teach it. So if you don't know how to do the task at hand, the robot's not going to know either. In order to be a successful deployer, the deployment person has to understand the task that they're teaching. So if you are running the robot as a vacuum robot, you should know how to vacuum the floor. There's certainly robot technology that needs a specialist to program. However, with the teach and repeat, many companies are deciding to do their own deployment. So let's get to those 7 steps that I mentioned in the beginning. The first element to successful deployment is who is being trained. Let's be honest, if you're like me, you need your teenager to program your smart TV. Not all of us are cut out for technology. Not all of us are comfortable with robots. In fact, some people are a little bit nervous about robots. So as a deployer and you're training someone, you not only need to know how to do the robot, but you also need to know about people. You need to have special people skills as well as technical skills. Okay, number 2. Other processes. If you recall, in our first video of evaluation, I mentioned you should have detailed work schedules. A successful robot deployment considers the other tasks that need to happen. For example, if you're installing a scrubbing robot, who's doing the sweeping? Or who's moving things? Or who's doing the cleaning around the robot? A successful deployment means that other processes need to be considered. It takes a unique skill set to understand these other processes. How's the cleaning operation done? They have to think holistically. What other tasks are being done in the facility and who's doing them? You wouldn't want the robot interfering with another process. Okay, number 3, your environment itself. Actually, the volatility of that environment. Now, we're not talking just about displays that move or things that move within the facility. We're talking about people themselves. So we have some great stories from the old days. We've seen robots being run off of platforms by forklifts. We've had people ride robots. We've had people throw things at robots. Some people like them, some people don't. So how volatile is your environment? Do you have a policy in place to deal with the robot that's now showed up at your facility? How do the other employees feel about that robot? Have you explained why it's there? That it's not there to take their job, that it's actually there to help them. These are change management issues that great deployers know how to deal with. They know how to make people feel comfortable around technology that may or may not feel comfortable around technology. Number 4, the time of day. You're not going to get maximum production out of a robot that has to stop every 5 seconds. When you run the robot is critical to its deployment. If you recall in the evaluation video we did, having those detailed job schedules is critical to know what time of day you should run the robot. The less people around, the better. All right, number 5, facility architecture. What if I told you there's actually robot kryptonite, just like Superman? There are both systems, technologies, sensors, elements within the facility that will make a robot stop. A successful deployer knows what these are and knows how to deal with them and how to plan for those elements in the facility that might cause it to not operate properly. Number 6, You need to know the limitations of the AMR technology you're installing. I can't tell you the number of times that we've heard people in the 1,800 installations we've done, can the robot do this? The answer is no.
Oh no!
I'm kidding, of course. You need to understand what the robot is not able to do, and that needs to be communicated effectively to the end user. As an example, edges. Most robots today do not do the edges. So someone needs to do the edges and take care of the edges to be cleaned. Actually, in the cleaning business, corners and edges are critical. So does your deployer have a plan for those edges? And has he spoken to the management or EVS about those edges? Or does the EVS department expect the edges to be done? There are limitations on each robot. They need to be clearly understood and clearly communicated to the management or team leader in your facility. So number 7, and probably the most important one. Your deployment needs to consider that this is not a one-and-done operation. You can't just deploy a robot and walk away and expect everything to work properly. There's ongoing optimization needed, and this needs to be clearly communicated to management. Maps get changed, people leave, they need to be retrained, environments change, technology changes. All of these things matter in a successful deployment. So as you can see, none of these have anything to do with programming the robot. A deployer needs to have a unique skill set of both technology, people, experience, and know-how. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If so, please like it or subscribe to our channel or send us a comment, send us an email. Be happy to help you. Before you go, let me ask you a question. Do you have someone in your organization that's a champion of robots, someone that loves technology, someone that wants to move ahead, to grow with the company? Trained and experienced robot operators are what makes a successful deployment. Thanks for watching.